quick start guide to the Paleolithic Ketogenic diet, inspired by Zsofia Clemens. So on your plate, you need to maintain a ratio of 100 grams of lean meat to 35 grams of fat. The idea is to eat when hungry and avoid the need to weigh food as time progresses. You can increase bone marrow intake while moderating fat consumption. You can also eat other things such as tallow or beef dripping. Canned sardines, preserved in water and salt may be okay, but remain cautious of the food industry. Use salt to taste, even if addicted. Sea salt is preferred, but rock salts are acceptable if free of additives. Following the diet's rules and being ketosis ensures adequate nutrient intake, so keep an eye on that as well. Both liver and bone marrow are needed for a balanced diet on this way of eating. Bone broth soup should be considered separately from the meals, but should not exceed 100 to 200 milliliters per day. Fresh anchovies are acceptable, but not necessary if consuming grazing ruminant animals. Carbonated tap water is generally good for consumption. Foods to avoid on the PKD. Avoid herbs and spices even in small amounts to prevent increased intestinal permeability. Cocoa powder should be completely avoided due to its effects on intestinal permeability and inflammation. Cheese, absolute no-go. Avoid that one as well. If you eat too much fat, just be careful that you can get health issues such as nausea and fatigue. And cross-contamination with dairy, grains and vegetable oils pose risks and should be avoided to keep your kitchen clean. You should aim to balance the intake of organ meats and muscle meat according to the diet's rules. As time progresses and intestinal permeability reduces through a PEG 400 test, the aim is to perhaps, if you prefer, add in some foods down the line. These might include 70% animal foods and 30% plant food by volume. When feeling better, sauerkraut is permissible. Small amounts of PKD approved fruits like raspberries are okay for healthy individuals only. Vegetables can be eaten either raw or cooked. If you're an athlete looking to do this, they basically suggest just to have more fat in ratio to protein. So for example, a large athlete may have 150 grams of protein, maybe even as high as 450 grams of fat. For type 1 diabetes recovery, lab tests are necessary to assess food expansion and macronutrient value. For type 1 diabetes recovery, lab tests are necessary to assess food expansion and reintroduction. Protein bioavailability is very important, and hunger is the best indicator for when to eat, funnily enough. For digestible meats, aim for grazing ruminant animals again, but pigs are also recommended if they come from a good source. Coffee is fine and apparently safe for healthy individuals. So why is the PKD diet so effective? Well, it's a healthy diet tailored to the biology of the human species, regardless of age, gender, religion, skin color, nationality, country of origin. The PKD is the most biologically and most fitting diet for humans, and the deviation from which are the cause of most, if not all, chronic medical conditions, especially the modern ones. Fortunately, the regenerative capacity of the human body is enormous. So if you have an established disease but you wish to switch to a biological diet, the chances of recovery are actually very high. Apparently, in most cases, permanent recovery of patients occurs, and in some other cases, the condition may be stabilized, followed by slow improvement. How long does the recovery take? The extent and speed of recovery largely depends on the type of tissue affected by the disease. The faster the cellular renewal and tissue replacement process is, the faster healing will occur. The fastest renewal rate for typical issues such as the skin, intestinal issues, 5 to 21 days, up to 3 weeks, and accordingly the regeneration of these tissues is the fastest. The regeneration of things such as nerve tissues can take much longer. Neurodegenerative diseases as well can also take much longer, so it can take months or even years in some issues. So it can take months or even years in some cases. Now, when is this diet recommended? Well, contrary to common belief, it's actually humankind, not separated by gender, age, any specifics like that. It can be implemented at any age for those looking to improve their health status. They mentioned that the psychological difficulties could be expected if you're addicted to carbohydrates and sugar. That is quite common, in which case you just assess yourself and say, Do I want to get better or not? Hopefully the answer is yes. I'm going to chuck on the screen quite a few diseases which it's been shown to have a lot of success with, and this might shock you. The list is very extensive. Hopefully this short video gives some insights into the Paleolithic Ketogenic diet, how to start it, what to do, what to expect, how long, what foods to eat. Thanks very much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment below. Have you tried this diet? Would you try this diet? Hit the bell icon, also if you have not yet already. If you want more information about this diet or anything related to these people from Paleo Medicina, just check out their channel, check out their website here. If you want to speak to me about it, what I think based on my experience of working for 400 carnivores, also let me know from a website through the consultation link above. Thank you very much. Check out my site at competitionconsultant.com, where your journey to peak performance and optimal health begins. With a degree in human nutrition and over 15 years of training experience, I've guided more than 400 carnivores to not just meet, but exceed their physique and performance goals. Through personalised consultations, comprehensive ebooks and dedicated coaching, I'm here to ensure your success. Join the ranks of those who have transformed their lives. It's time to align your physique goals with positive health outcomes. Build muscle and lose fat on the carnivore diet.